Welcome back to another episode of the Minds with Hakeem podcast. This is episode 58. And as you can see, I'm accompanied by myself. And shout out to my wife, Sam, for helping set up this setup quick in our living room and helping me get the camera right and stuff like that. You got to appreciate good help. So, thanks, babe. Thanks, babe. So, all right. So this podcast is basically going to be over us heading into 2024. When I say us, I mean all of us, not just myself and my family and my team, all of us. So I kind of want to just set the tone for 2024 because I know somebody out here needs to hear this. I needed to hear it, so I'm relaying part of some of the things that I've heard, but some of the things that I know I need to do. So 2024, here we come. And the main focus for 2024 should be, if not, reinventing yourself. Now, I say reinventing yourself, and I know some of you are thinking, I love myself, yada, 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 which is cool, and that's good and all, because I love myself too. But sticking with the growth mindset, reinventing yourself requires you to go get more tools, more knowledge, more skills to add to yourself. So I'm going to kind of cover some goals in just four small areas. I shouldn't say small, four areas in my life. Not in totality. I didn't cover every area of my life, but kind of what I'm personally going to do in 2024 to reinvent myself and to continue to grow and equip myself. But there's many more goals that I'm going for and things that I'm currently doing and things like that. But I feel me trying to reinvent myself in 2024 is going to make everything I do and we do as a family and I do with my friends way better. So reinvent yourself. And disclaimer, this doesn't matter if you're 73 or you're 17. Does not matter. It's always a good time to reinvent yourself and to gain and acquire more skills, tools, and knowledge. So, yeah, just putting that out there for y'all people who like to make excuses because we can come up with the best excuses. But I took some little notes that I'm going to go through and this beautiful journal that me and my wife friend Nita, shout out Nita, she purchased for us. It's Tell Me Your Life Story, Dad. And she got one for Sam, Tell Me Your Life Story, Mom, because we just became those parents, you know. But yeah, I took some notes in the notes section about this podcast, episode 58. We're doing it. All right. So I'll start with one. Simple. If you're hearing this, you're listening to the podcast. So this is a podcast goal, kind of focusing on reinventing ourselves. Now, a lot of things will stay the same. You'll continue to get episodes from wonderful guests. You'll continue to get these individual episodes from me, which that's standard, and you understand that. But I'm adding a new addition to the podcast. And this goal is I run a book club with some men around the Des Moines area, some of my friends. Well, actually, all of them are my friends, I would say. And in this book club, it's basically, it's hard to explain because we do business, we do gospel books on our faith, we do books about diet and stuff like that, but we just do growth mindset books because we all want to grow in areas of taking care of our health, our faith, and our business. We all have a job or a career that we're pursuing, so it's kind of that in totality. But with that being said, these episodes that's coming in the future will be breaking down the books from book club with some of the members from book club. So you'll be seeing the various members of guys. I know I talked to Matt and Caleb about it, but I'm sure Marquis, Tyler, Ryan, John Luke, all those guys will want to get in the flow. Zach, they'll want to get in the flow as well as we break down books. But on the first episode, that's coming in February, you'll probably see Matt, Caleb, or Matt and Caleb. I don't know. We're still playing with it. But I think the books that we read, we all, should I say, think the books that we read and discuss in book club is extremely valuable and helpful, even if we hate the book. And we all be honest about our ratings of the book at the book club. So we're going to break it down on the podcast of what our takeaways was. And that's just our way of sharing what we're gaining and what we're learning from these other people who've written these good or bad books. You'll choose, but it'll be a lot of spoilers on it, but that's just something it's an addition I want to add to the podcast to kind of reinvent it. I think a lot of people are interested in books. I know a lot of my friends who don't read like to listen to books or listen to podcasts and learn on podcasts, which is absolutely fine. I think a book and a great podcast that's informal, same thing. I've learned so much from both. So that's one goal that we're going to do, and you guys are going to get to see it real time. I decided to go with a marriage goal. Now, marriage goal in 2024, I'm going to do more writing to Sam in 2024. Now, what this means is I'm going to write her little notes. I'll obviously write her cards and stuff like that, but I'll write her little appreciation notes and different things like that just to show my love for her. And it kind of catches another thing that I'm pursuing. I'm pursuing to be a writer, and I want to get better at writing. And my wife is also a phenomenal editor, but not saying she'll edit her love notes. I hope she's not doing that. But it gives me a chance to connect with my wife at a different level that would mean something to her. And also give me a chance to sit still, continue my writing, and really hone in on those words that I want to express to her. So that's a goal, to kind of reinvent myself as I'm a pursuing writer. My writing isn't very great right now, but just 2 years ago, my reading wasn't very great either, and I've enhanced and really enhanced those two. So I'm proud of where I'm going. It shows you can always keep learning, because I started reading at 26, 27, and pretty good reader today, to toot my own horn. But yeah, this kind of, I don't want to use the analogy, kill two birds in one stone, but you get the concept. I get to show love and affection to my wife, and I get to practice my skills while doing it. Catch all. Work goals, for those of you who don't know, I work in assisted living and memory care. I work with seniors when they can no longer live at home and they need to move into a community. My two communities is Eden Crest at Norwalk and Eden Crest at Legacy. And my role as the community relations director is basically I handle the sales side. So when people start to look out and reach, I follow up with families or the resident who will be moving in to kind of usher that process and things like that. So I take my career very serious. I have a very important role in this healthcare cycle, especially for our seniors. So with that being said, ways that I want to reinvent myself at work is not really caring about being rejected or disrespected. In my world, I have to pick up the phone a lot, make calls, reach out to families, reach out to the resident, future resident, and kind of spark that conversation to get them to come to our community. And every time I make a call, I get a slight anxiety. And I know I'm not the only one that get that, even in the world of sales, but you get that slight anxiety. I don't want to bother them. They was rude last time I talked to them, so we don't make that call. But to reinvent myself is putting on that shell and not really caring about being disrespected. And this is not to say, this is not to say everybody I talk to is disrespectful. No, it's probably 2 out of every 10. If I make 100 calls, 20 people are just like rude and disrespectful. So I don't want people who have been in this process and have went through it and was nice the whole time. I get that the majority of the time. Just want to say that. But there are a few who they can be pretty mean. But I've been learning, actually, a friend of mine, Alex Welch, he was a college teammate. We call him Big A. He shared a book with me from Zig Ziglar. It's about selling and closing. And Zig was a master salesman of his time and stuff like that. He sold cookware, and he come up with all these different scenarios. And one thing he really, really talked about was dealing with rejection and how many salesmen or saleswomen get rejected, throw a pity party for themselves, go to a coffee shop, have them a coffee and conversation with other friends and stuff like that. And they just lost the rest of their evening because they got disrespected one time and they stopped working. And that's not the key to success. I have a job I have to do for my community and for these seniors and also for my family, most importantly. So just dealing with rejection and ultimately helping families, because in this situation, in assisted living and memory care, these families are hurting. And if I get rejected or get disrespected on a phone call by someone and I don't reach out to the other 20 people that I was supposed to, I ultimately didn't help a family member who needed my help, who wanted to speak with us and come in and stuff like that. Because if it's not safe for the seniors to live at home, I'm doing them a disservice by not reaching out. So that's a goal I want to do. I'm going to do. Let me correct my verbiage on that. Is I'm reaching out and I'm following up and making that call. All right. And lastly, personal goal. Personal goal that I already started, but it's a goal, it's a kind of continual goal, is to continue to learn jiu-jitsu in 2024. Now, the reason I chose jiu-jitsu is obviously because I want to be an instructor for Titus and his friends and my friends' kids and things like that. But jiu-jitsu just puts me in awkward and uncomfortable situations, and it fits in with the reinventing yourself, because everybody who knows me mostly knows me as a basketball player. This is counter opposite of that. So I'm going in a completely different direction as a former basketball player. Now I'm learning jiu-jitsu, and ultimately the next 5 to 10 years I want to be an instructor. So, and it also makes me think more, and it puts me in uncomfortable positions while thinking, trying not to get my leg snapped and and my shoulder twisted up. But it's fun, it's challenging, and I'm doing hard things while in uncomfortable positions, which I think only sharpens me as I go. But it is, like I said, reinventing myself. So I want to continue to learn and hone that skill in totality. And so these are 4 quick goals that I have, and that would align all completely with my big picture. And most of these goals, the only one of these 4 ones that I showed you was that I'm not doing today is the marriage goal so far. I write to Sam, but I'm not doing that as much as I would like to and things like that. And I'm not writing for a creative spin on just growing my penmanship. But so I'm not a big proponent of, I'm not a huge fan, should I say, of 2024 new year, new me goals. But reinventing yourself is always a good time for it, and most of us like to start that at the beginning of the year. So here it is. And I always have a negative connotation with people who, new year, new me, the gym is packed and stuff like that. And last year when that happened, I was telling Sam, I was like, I need to have a new mindset of, my mindset was, these people will be on my way in 2 weeks. How can I keep these people in my way? How can I keep these people in the gym and pursuing their goals? Is the new mindset, is the new way to look at problems and stuff like that we go through, that people are trying to change themselves. So for those of you who are on the path to reinventing yourself, I would love to join y'all in that journey. Just reach out to us on the podcast, via text, via email, however you can get in touch with me so we can keep checking in. Accountability group is huge. And I know somebody needs to hear this message, but I'm going to say this because we all know somebody who we think needed to hear this message. Share this with that friend who you think needed this message, but also rewind it and play it back for yourself, because I think you need it as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to reinvent ourselves in 2024. We're going to go to attack it. We're going to get after it, and we'll have some fun. So I hope 2024 is filled with blessings and joys for all of you guys and gals out there. And remember to stay sharp. Peace.